Welcome to Inside Development with Erika Collins. I'm a graduate with my master's from Florida International University with my international real estate degree and also a broker associate here in South Florida. And today I'm discussing the big three topics of affordable housing and breaking those down for you for a better understanding of how to break the stigma on affordable housing. This is something I love to talk to my developers about so they can find different ways to add units to their properties, to increase their pocketbooks, and to also shorten their timelines. Feel free to stay tuned and ask any questions after. I'd love to have a conversation with you on this and see if this is something maybe you could implement on your future strategy. So affordable housing is a product in itself. Affordable housing, in layman's terms, simply describes housing that is rent restricted, and it's typically, at least around South Florida, a multifamily property. The Live Local Act is a Florida legislation enacted in 2023, and its goal is to encourage private sector developers to build more affordable and workforce housing. It accomplishes this by offering administrative approvals, increased density, greater building height, property tax incentives, and preemption of certain local zoning restrictions when statutory requirements are met. In simple terms, the state tells developers, if you include qualified affordable workforce housing, we'll make it easier and more predictable to build, which causes less risk in your development project. It does not only provide construction money itself, it also creates conditions to make projects more financially feasible. Moving on to LIHTC, L-I-H-T-C, the Low Income Housing Tax Credit. This is a federal financing program. It was created by Congress in 1986, and instead of giving developers cash directly, it offers developers the opportunity to sell those tax credits to investors who often take advantage of a tax reduction over a period of several years, where they'll donate to the program and in return receive tax breaks year after year. The investors provide equity for the project, which reduces the overall debt load of the property. So say a building is $5 million and they get awarded $1 million with the LIHTC, their carrying costs are really only $4 million. And the remaining is paid for by the investors. So it really helps to give developers an opportunity to create more housing while lowering the cost, because they're not going to be charging market rate once the building is completed. And oftentimes when they're building this, they are getting land grants or land leases from either government entities or private owners, where they're leasing land at a period of 100 years for a certain amount of time. So there's still some carrying cost in the development. Without LIHTC, many affordable housing developments simply would not work out without that. It helps to lower the monthly loan payments, lower operating costs, and affordable rents become financially feasible. One thing I want to mention about the Live Local Act and for some of the affordable housing opportunities is a developer doesn't have to dedicate their entire building to affordable housing. There are guidelines and limitations where you might need to only put down 10%, 20% of your property to affordable housing to be able to receive some of the credits. So you have a small portion that is going towards affordable housing and the remainder is completely market rate. So you're able to pull a full amount of profit out of the remaining renters, whereas the rent restriction units that you have are a very limited quantity and you're still receiving the benefits for them. There is a possibility to stack your capital stack with some affordable housing opportunities. Stay tuned. In my next discussion, I will cover the capital stacking opportunities with LIHTC Affordable Housing and the Live Local Act. And I'll give you some developers' insights on how they've done it and the amount of money that they have saved or gained from capital stacking with affordable housing.